bumping up like crazy.
So now, Candace Owens isn't just throwing shade at Erika anymore. She's leveling up the accusations in a major way. She's alleging that Erika swindled her own TPUSA community through what Candace describes as a fake merch setup, one that allegedly brought in millions. And this time, Candace isn't just talking for clicks. She claims she came prepared with receipts, including an audio recording that's now all over the internet. According to Candace, that audio captures Erika laughing and joking with her team about how well the merch was selling, and the detail that has people stunned is when that conversation allegedly took place.
Turning Point USA cult members are furious that Erika Kirk has been called a grifter, yet this audio seems to point to just that.
Candace says the recording comes from a private staff meeting held just days after Charlie died, which instantly shifted how people heard that clip. Because timing matters. And this timing feels wild to a lot of folks watching from the outside. Now here's where the situation gets even heavier. Candace isn't pushing this narrative solo anymore. She's reportedly coordinating with Charlie Kirk's own sister, which changes the entire tone of the story. When family steps in, it signals that this isn't just internet mess or influencer drama. It suggests something much closer to home. That's why people keep saying the call is coming from inside the house, and that alone has made this controversy explode even harder. And to be clear, the audio by itself doesn't directly prove anything illegal or deceptive.
Picture of her Jackie Kennedy.
If you listen to it without context, it sounds like a boss praising her team, celebrating strong sales, and showing appreciation for their effort. On the surface, that's normal workplace energy. But the problem starts when people place that audio inside the bigger picture of what was happening at that moment and everything that unfolded afterward. Once you factor in Charlie's death, the merch rollout, and the claims about where that money was going, the clip hits completely different. It's no longer just about what was said. It's about when it was said and what people believe was happening behind the scenes. That's why the conversation online hasn't slowed down at all. Candace is framing this as more than poor judgment. She's presenting it as a pattern of behavior that deserves scrutiny. And whether people agree with her or not, the way this story keeps adding new layers is exactly why so many are watching closely, waiting to see what comes out next. And if people thought the audio was uncomfortable,
Erika Kirk calling Charlie Kirk's funeral the event of the century in the new leaked audio that Candace Owens posted is crazy.
The video took things to another level. In that footage, Erika is smiling wide, almost glowing, repeatedly stressing just how strong the merch sales were. The energy felt off to a lot of viewers, and the second that clip hit the internet, it spread fast. TikTok stitches popped up everywhere, with people replaying it frame by frame and questioning why the focus was so locked in on sales at such a sensitive moment. A major point people kept bringing up was timing. Critics questioned why the energy seemed centered on business wins instead of stepping back to focus on family responsibilities during a period of major loss. That contrast is what made the video unsettling for many viewers. And once the internet locks onto a moment like that, there's no pulling it back. Through all of this,
I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like it's just insane.
But Erika's remaining supporters fought hard to defend her. They pushed back on the criticism, called it unfair, and tried to reframe the clip as taken out of context. But even as they did that, there was one uncomfortable detail they couldn't fully address. A growing number of people felt Candace had been right all along about Erika being driven heavily by money, and that sentiment started spreading fast. On Twitter, hundreds of posts piled up, calling out what they saw as excitement over financial opportunity during a deeply serious time. Some people felt the tone didn't match the moment, even if no one wanted to say that part too loudly. And the wild part is, nobody had to spell it out. Older clips, statements, and timelines started resurfacing on their own.
And then you have, is it 100 million? I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But
those receipts painted a picture that many felt showed a clear pattern. One Erika didn't really try to hide. Candace Owens, for her part, wasn't shocked at all. She's been saying for a long time that Erika was using her loyal TPUSA fan base as a revenue stream, and in her mind, this situation just confirmed what she'd already believed. Candace has said she saw this coming from a mile away, and that it only took the public a few months to catch up. One of her earliest red flags was how quickly Erika stepped into Charlie's role as Turning Point USA CEO after his death. According to Candace, that move felt rushed and impossible to justify without raising serious questions. By taking that position so fast, critics argue Erika shut down any space for accountability. It created a situation where questioning decisions became socially off-limits, because who wants to challenge a grieving widow? And that's where things really start to get deeper. Candace was one of the very first people to clock what she says was Erika turning grief into a business move.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
From Candace's perspective, the shift happened fast. Erika went straight into what critics now call a full-on grief tour, hopping from state to state, sitting down for interview after interview, repeatedly centering the narrative around loss while keeping herself in the spotlight. If you followed Erika closely during that period, you couldn't miss it. She stayed visible, stayed booked, and stayed talking. Then came the book release, which was heavily marketed as Charlie's final work. Now, supporters were encouraged to buy it not just as a product, but as a way to feel closer to Charlie, to honor his legacy, and to stay emotionally connected. But Candace says even that wasn't enough. According to her, Erika made sure the merch machine never slowed down. And once Candace claims she learned how the merch operation allegedly worked behind the scenes, she stopped holding back completely. She went public, went loud, and put Erika on full blast. People might remember that Erika didn't stay silent either. She went on air multiple times warning Candace to stop calling her and TPUSA out.
Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. So since Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million. But gosh darn you people that are making hundreds of dollars every day on YouTube.
Erika accused Candace of spreading lies for profit and allegedly told her to back off or face consequences. But instead of cooling things down, that warning only pushed Candace further. Candace responded by doubling down, saying Erika had been trying to profit off Charlie's death from day one. That's when Candace started laying out what she described as the full breakdown of the merch situation. According to her, merch wasn't just a side hustle, it was the top priority. During Erika's tours, Candace claims she repeatedly highlighted merchandise over messaging. Candace also pointed out financial figures that shocked a lot of people. She alleged that TPUSA pulled in over $100 million from merch sales alone, a number that raised serious eyebrows across the internet. And that wasn't even the end of it. Candace also pointed to an additional $40 million reportedly generated during the Black Tie Gala held at Mar-a-Lago in December of last year.
I think the mistake they made, and I've said on my podcast, she should have never become the CEO and chairman overnight. Because now, when people have questions, you got to answer them, right? You're not just a grieving widow, but you very quickly decided that you were equipped to be Charlie. Well, guess what? That's going to be a trial by fire. Charlie had to go through it. It's painful. And so people are feeling like, hey, it's not fair to ask her any questions because her husband just died.
According to those claims, the event wasn't just exclusive. It was extremely expensive. Eyed reports circulating online said tickets allegedly reached up to $10,000 per plate, with close to 1,000 attendees in the room. When people started doing the math, it only intensified the backlash and added more fuel to the ongoing controversy. Candace framed all of this as proof that Erika's focus wasn't healing, reflection, or stepping back, but expansion. And once those numbers started spreading online, the conversation shifted from speculation to serious scrutiny almost overnight. And that's when the pressure really started building. But this is where the situation turns even darker. According to Candace, the timeline alone raises serious questions. Reports show that literally one day after Charlie died, TPUSA released a shirt on their website featuring a black illustration of Charlie with his fist raised, paired with the words, "Here I am, Lord, send me," Isaiah 6:8. That timing instantly made people uncomfortable. And it didn't stop there. Within just 1 week of his death, TPUSA rolled out 5 more shirts, each one presenting Charlie as a larger-than-life hero with different captions.
I lived out here. I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive.
These weren't quiet memorial items either. The shirts sold out quickly, almost immediately, which only added to the growing outrage online. As if that wasn't enough, Erika also set up a GoFundMe shortly after, pulling even more money from loyal TPUSA supporters. According to multiple reports circulating online, donations from that GoFundMe alone reportedly passed $6 million. Once those numbers started spreading, the conversation shifted fast from sympathy to suspicion. At that point, Candace had one central question she kept repeating over and over. If nothing questionable is happening, then where is all this money actually going? With merch selling out, donations pouring in, and events bringing in massive sums, Candace argued that transparency should be the bare minimum. But Erika didn't respond. Even after the video of her excitedly celebrating merch sales went viral, there was no statement, no clarification, no warning, and no pushback at all. And that silence spoke volumes to critics, especially because, as many people pointed out, Erika has never been shy about speaking up when she feels attacked. The past few months made it clear. When she wants to respond, she does. So her refusal to address the money only made the speculation grow louder. At the same time, most people started noticing something else. The goodwill Charlie had built over the years appeared to be draining fast. Longtime supporters began questioning their loyalty, and confidence in TPUSA started slipping, especially as the alleged merch controversy kept growing. And just when it seemed like things couldn't spiral further, the situation escalated again. Charlie's sister reportedly stepped into the picture, and once family gets involved, everything changes. That's when people realized this wasn't just online backlash anymore. It was turning into something much bigger. You'd think with all this money flowing in, Erika might slow down, step back, spend real time with her kids, and process her loss. Instead, critics say the pace never let up. And that contrast between grief and nonstop monetization is exactly why this story keeps getting more intense by the day. But according to insiders, Erika isn't slowing down at all. Instead of stepping back, sources claim she realized just how easy it was to pull money from loyal TPUSA supporters, and that realization allegedly pushed her to keep the operation going as long as possible. At this point, critics say it's not just disrespectful to the fans, it's a slap in the face to everyone who knew and cared about Charlie long before Erika ever entered his life. And this is exactly where Charlie's sister Mary steps into the picture. According to Mary, TPUSA under Erika's leadership has allegedly been hiding just how much money is really coming in. Those claims didn't come out of nowhere either. An independent investigator reportedly flagged major issues with the organization's financial transparency. That investigator allegedly discovered that multiple TPUSA tax filings and financial audit documents were missing entirely. And here's the part that raised serious red flags. The missing records reportedly disappeared just months before Charlie died. That timeline lines up closely with the period when Erika began taking a much more active role inside the company. According to people familiar with the situation, Charlie himself had already started feeling uneasy about the finances. He allegedly had suspicions of his own and quietly brought in a new team to conduct a deeper audit of the organization's money. That move alone suggests he wanted clarity, structure, and answers. But here's the tragic part. Charlie never got to see the results of that audit. Before the findings could be delivered or made public, his life was cut short. And once the new leadership took control, Mary claims that entire audit process was buried, ignored, and effectively erased. Sources say that was the moment everything clicked for Charlie's sister. From her perspective, this wasn't just mismanagement. It looked like intentional cleanup. She reportedly believed the first priority of the new administration wasn't transparency, but control. That alleged cover-up is what finally pushed Mary to speak out. In her view, the missing documents, the stalled audit, and the sudden silence all pointed to the same conclusion: that something wasn't adding up. And once Mary decided to step forward, the situation went from messy to explosive. Because when family members start calling out financial inconsistencies, the conversation stops being internet chatter and starts sounding like something far more serious. This wasn't about gossip anymore. It became about money, missing records, unanswered questions, and a timeline that refuses to make sense. And once those dots started connecting, the pressure around Erika didn't just grow, it multiplied fast. But according to insiders, the final straw came when Erika allegedly reenacted the tent where Charlie was shot, right in front of thousands of people. What pushed it over the edge was the claim that attendees were then charged money to step inside and take photos, turning a place tied to tragedy into what insiders described as a disturbing spectacle. For Charlie's family, that moment crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. Sources say his loved ones were stunned. To them, it felt like Charlie's death was being reduced to a prop, a backdrop, a money-making attraction. The pain wasn't just emotional, it was personal. They reportedly felt like Erika had decided money was the only thing that mattered, no matter how deeply it hurt the people who loved Charlie long before the spotlight. And now, Erika has gone quiet, even as more questions keep surfacing, even as more receipts continue floating around online. And that silence is loud, because this time, it's not just critics talking. It's Charlie's own sister saying the numbers don't make sense. Once family members start pulling threads like that, things don't stay buried for long. When this stops being internet chatter and starts becoming a full-on unraveling. Because family knows where to look, what questions to ask, and which details were never meant to be seen. So now the real question isn't whether Erika went too far. The real question is whether everything people are only now waking up to was happening right in front of everyone the whole time. Because once the money trail gets forced into the open, this story doesn't end with merch. It gets a whole lot bigger. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about all of this? Do you believe this was grief mixed with bad decisions, or something much more calculated? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video so more people can join the conversation. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.